And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Women of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today, I wanted to talk about the purpose of life simplified for women. I talk a lot about this on the Men of High Value channel, and I guess I've spoken about it on this channel too, but it hasn't been specified and clarified as I want to do it today. Purpose of life. What is it? Why are we here? Very simply put, without being religious at all. We don't even have to bring religion into this. Although, you can look at that picture too because it's important. But for today, I just want to keep it rational, keep it on the ground, and keep it like present, okay? Something that you can see, touch, and feel type of thing. We don't have to even go beyond this life. We just look right here and look at the purpose of life for us humans. What is it? Well, guess what? It is that we might have joy. Okay? Happiness. Happiness is the true purpose of life. There is nothing more important to learn about than happiness. How do you achieve happiness? And what is the straightforward answer to get it? Okay? How do you feel happy? And now you can explain, like, there's so many different things that could, make you happy. Every individual is different. But we're not really different when you really begin to look into the science and the nature of happiness. We're all the frickin' same. We're literally all the same when it comes to happiness. Okay, well, but let's look at some things first. How do you feel happy? When are the times in life where you have felt the most happy? And then you might say, well, the times when I've been in love, like I can't even explain how happy I am when I feel that connection with another human being that wants me for me, and then I want him at the same time, and because of that, we connect and we feel love, we feel sparks, and there's nothing like it. Okay, great. So we understand that love is an important component of happiness, right? One of those things that we don't want mediocrity in. We want to be happy. We don't want mediocrity there. We want abundance in happiness. We don't want scarcity of happiness. Good. Okay. Basics. We understand that now. How to get there? Let's not worry about the how for a second. Let's just understand the reality of it all. We want happiness. We want a lot of it. Okay. What about love? Yes, we want love. Give me more. Thank you. Okay. So you want a lot of it or you want less of it? I want a lot. Okay, great. Abundance of love. Okay. Good start. What's number third? What's number 3? Well, we want to feel special. We want to feel important. Okay? Important to who? Well, that's a good question. Let's discuss this a little bit. When do you feel special? When other people make you feel special, right? We get to a very important clue here. We can get happy, we can feel love or be in love, that's the ultimate form of love, and then we can feel special. But what is it that truly gives us all of those things? You could say that, okay, we need our basic needs met. Okay, we need food, shelter, and clothing. That's to protect us from nature and from the outdoors, basically, right? Okay, that's great. But once we have that doesn't necessarily give us happiness, although it helps a lot, okay? We need something more than that. And then you can talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, blah, blah, blah. But I want to keep it simple. We don't need to mention 30, 40 different things, or even 5 categories for that matter. We just want 3, or maybe just 1. Okay? Keep it simple. It's really, truly simple. Can you be happy by yourself? A lot of women, no offense to them, and a lot of people, mainstream, they're saying that yes, of course you can be happy by yourself. And in fact, you have to find happiness within first before you help other people be happy, or before you can find happiness with another person. Solve your own problems first, and then you can go into a relationship and be happy with them. Interesting. What about love? Same thing there? Can you love yourself first and then love someone else? And you'll love someone else better after you love yourself first? And what about feeling special? Oh, can you feel special first by yourself? And then you get with other people and then you feel like you feel special? I want to clarify and simplify this to you. I'm being a bit maybe sarcastic. I don't like calling it sarcastic because I don't believe in sarcasm. I just want to bring it to a T in helping you understand that you cannot and will not ever be happy all on your own. You cannot and will not ever feel true love and an abundance of love on your own. Okay? And when I talk about happiness, and I just passed it real quick here, but I'm talking about abundance in happiness. What I just explained in the beginning of the video, we want abundance of happiness. Yeah, you can't get that without anyone else. You need other people. Love. Can you get that on your own? No, abundance of it? No, you need other people. Okay. Feeling special. Can you feel special without other people feeling that you are special? No, you cannot, especially not a lot of it. And you want a lot of it. This is the purpose of life simplified, understanding the crucialness of how to be happy, how to find love, and how to feel special. And having that be consistent throughout your entire life, starting today. Unfortunately, though, we have a problem because it's not women's fault. Okay, if it was women's fault, then you could solve that today. You could make a decision and be happy all of the time and have a massive abundance of it. If it was up to you, you could decide to love yourself. And then you could love yourself forever and have no down days when it comes to loving yourself. Or feeling special. I always feel special. I feel special. All on my own, I feel special, feel special, feel special. You won't do that consistently all on your own. We need other people. It's not women's fault though, because if it was, they would do it. They would fix it. Because they care. You care. And because you care, you want yourself to be happy, but not only yourself, you want everyone to be happy. But when you are not happy yourself, you don't have capacity to give other people happiness. When you don't feel loved, you don't have capacity to help other people feel loved. When you don't feel special, you don't have capacity for helping other people feel special. That's a problem because of the law of reciprocity, or karma, as many other people call it. In order for you, as a woman, to naturally help other people to be happy, and you doing it naturally and all the time, consistently and continuously, 110% for the rest of your life, consistently, you have to be what we call on this channel unburdened. Okay? Meaning feminine. If you're masculine, i.e. burdened, you're not going to have capacity for anyone else but yourself. Not your fault, but it is what it is. It's reality. Meaning, if you remain in your masculine state, you will be unhappy. Because if you look at the enemy of best, or the enemy of great, is good. Okay? Oh, I can be happy on my own. I don't need any man. I don't need any women either. I'm just happy all on my own. Oh, really? If you compare great to good, and you're good in terms of happy, and I'm talking now, abundance-wise, then you're not as happy as you could be, meaning you've got mediocrity in terms of happiness, love, and feeling special. Do you want that for yourself? No, you don't. Is it your fault? No, it's not. Why? Because you've been screwed over by men your entire life and you don't trust them. Okay? If you trusted men, guess what? They'd provide for you. They would protect you and your emotions, and they'd make sure that your environment was safe from rejection. Okay? Has that been your life experience? 99% of you, no, it hasn't. Okay? So you lost trust in men, so now you want to become a man instead. You don't think of it like this, but that's what happens naturally when you don't need a man. I don't want a man because I can take care of myself. I can take care of my own needs. I can do it all on my own. This feministic mantra, that doesn't work, okay? I'm grateful for feminism because it brought forth a lot of things, a lot of good things for the human race. Both women and men have benefited from it. However, the very basics of it, the fact that women believe that they don't need men and they don't need other people, is completely and utterly false. You cannot have abundance in happiness, love, and feeling special unless you first give that to other people. But you can't do that naturally if you're masculine. And you're masculine because you've been screwed over so many times by feminine men that made you masculine. If men were masculine, they would not have made you masculine. You would have automatically remained in your femininity and enjoyed your life. You would have had an abundance of happiness, you would have had an abundance of love, and you would have had an abundance of feeling special. But they screwed you over. But we're rectifying that one small step at a time by creating men of high value on the Men of High Value channel. One small step at a time. Okay? What am I saying here? What I'm saying is that in order for you to have capacity to be happy, but not only to be happy, but to give that happiness to others first so that you can receive happiness in return from other people, right? You need a man to help you to be unburdened. We were designed to be together. Men and women, not separate. Okay? We were designed to unite. That's what creates joy and happiness and feeling special and what creates love. That's what we were designed to do. That's what the universe has created, and it's very simply put. Because without men and women combining, uniting in love, happiness, and making each other feel special, there's no children. And if there's no children, or if there are children that come from unions that did not have happiness, love, and feeling special, that reciprocity, then those kids are screwed. And the next generation that comes from them are screwed. And the next generation that comes from them are even more screwed. Do you understand what I'm saying here? We need families. Families will create an amazing next generation if the parents have happiness, love, and feeling special. Does that make sense? So we need men. You need men. Well, actually, you need one man. But that man needs to be good. That man needs to be trustworthy. That man needs to be legit. He needs to be loyal. He needs to stick for the long run exponentially over time. And that's the problem, isn't it? But if you had that, if you knew that you would have that, that's worth fighting for. Okay? Because the moment you have it, guess what? It opens up your life. If he provides for you luxuriously and he protects you and helps you to prevent rejection in your life, that you're 100% unconditionally loved once he's committed to you, that allows you to give happiness first to other people, which makes it so that you receive happiness back. Wow! It's karma. The law of reciprocity. When someone smiles to you, you smile back. But it's easier to have other people smile back to you if you've smiled first. Right? Love. You receive love first. Your heart opens. Now you're able to love other people. You feel special. Now you're able to make other people feel special. You would not have been able to do that unless your environment allowed that to happen. You're an environmental creature. You're an environmental creature, and that's good. Because that means that if we just simply solve your environment, then you can have abundance of happiness, abundance of love, and an abundance of feeling special. The system that is put in place is beautiful. It is amazing. It is perfect. You and your intentions are perfect. Okay? But we got another problem. And that is that a lot of men these days do not want commitment. Right? They don't want commitment because taking on responsibility in this day and age, with the history that women have from guys who have screwed them over, is very reckless for a man to take upon himself. Okay? A man needs to be very wise in his selection process of who he chooses to take upon himself as a responsibility that he will take upon him for life. Okay? The men of high value that are being trained as part of this movement have to receive a stamp of approval that they're trustworthy, that they're honest, that they're loyal, and that they're going to stick it through with the women that they choose forever. They're not going to receive the stamp of approval if they don't do that. They also have to prove over a consistent long period of time that they're celibate. Voluntary celibate, meaning no sexuality, no porn, no masturbation, nothing. They simply are doing their work and improving themselves with one purpose. That purpose, and this is our men's main motivation, they selfishly are building towards improving themselves for you. As a woman, you have to understand this point. Men have no other desire than producing a family with women, 3, women who love him, adore him, and live for him. Because he first lived for them. The only reason men do the 80-hour work week that I teach them on the Men of High Value channel is for them to have happiness, love, and feeling important or special. The only way that they will feel important and special and have happiness and true love in their lives is if they change themselves and become a person for women of their choice. If those women are not what he desires, or he desires something else, then there's no motivation in that. Do you understand? What I'm trying to tell you is that in order for you to get that happiness, that love, that feeling special, you have to temporarily, massively work on yourself and improving yourself. Your intentions are pure. You're perfect that way. Okay? And if you are unburdened, you will massively run towards improving yourself and towards responsibility. But these men that we're creating, unfortunately, for a time, there's going to be a shortage of them. But not really, because they're going to improve very quickly. What there's going to be a shortage of is women who qualify for them. There's going to be a shortage on both sides for a time. Eventually, there's going to be an exponential growth on both sides. But I want to help you understand that if you want this type of lifestyle, the luxurious lifestyle, a man who takes all of the blame, okay, and he then deserves, because he produces this amazing environment for you, he deserves 3 women. Because that's the only thing that he'll be motivated by consistently over a long period of time to continue producing that same environment that he first created for you in the first place. In order for him to choose you, specifically you, it's a team sport. It's a team effort. It's not just going to take him taking a look at you and then suddenly, oh my gosh, this is the woman that I want. She is above everyone and anyone. I want her. Okay? Yeah, that would be nice. But what if you suck? No offense. But what if you suck compared to other potential women? So this is how it is. This is reality. It's not nice to hear. I understand that. It's also, aren't you like the purpose of life is happiness and love and feeling special? I don't feel special right now, Joseph. I don't feel loved. I don't feel accepted, and I don't feel happy because you're basically saying I need to change. I'm saying that the man who chooses you has in the initial phase of the dating process, during this transition phase, there's no 3 in love society yet, right? Where that process is so much easier. And if you don't understand that process of how it looks like in the 3 in love society, I highly recommend subscribing, liking this video, and then checking out the rest of this channel. It is amazing. I have hours on hours about education when it comes to relationships, masculinity, femininity, and women and men, and how to make this all work. But I'm telling you, doesn't it make sense that in order for you to be able to compete with other women, at least in terms of the selection process, wouldn't it make sense that you also have to improve a tiny little bit? The more you improve, the better man you get, right? The less you improve, the lower value man you get. So you can remain the same, and I wish that you could remain the same, because that's what I teach you guys. I teach you guys femininity, unburdened. Right now I'm burdening you guys, right? I'm telling you guys, oh, you have more to do. You need to change. That's a problem, right? But a bigger problem than what I just said right now is if you never change, you might be stuck never getting a man of high value. Or you might settle with the man of low value, which is basically settling. And remember, we don't want to settle. We want to have amazing happiness, amazing love, and amazingly feeling special. Settling with one low-value man in monogamy secures your mediocrity on all of those things. You want abundance in all of those things? I highly recommend you watching this video 1,000 times, okay? And if not 1,000 times, at least 10 times so that you get the message. I love women. I love children. I want them to be unburdened, to be happy. But in order for that to happen, we need some cooperation in the beginning. Because men, once they qualify to be men of high value and they receive a stamp of approval, they're not just going to go over to the Women of High Value channel and they're going to like, so where are these women? You know, and oh, yeah, these are interesting women. These are nice. But that's not really what I had in mind when, I started the 80-hour work week and started going through hell in order to get to heaven. When I started this process of me wanting to take the blame for the rest of my freaking life and responsibility, always my fault, no matter what I do in the home, I had some other girls in mind. So I'm going to look over there instead. I'll see you around, Joe. And then they go, and then they find, because I've taught them the principles, right? I've taught them everything I know if they're men of high value and receive the stamp of approval, so they can find women anywhere, right? So they can choose, they can select, they can handpick from the top shelf. So you don't believe that you need to improve yourself. It is crucial that you use the tiny little amount of masculinity extra that you have, okay, to discipline yourself towards doing those things that men in general like. Because those are the things that they choose in the selection process. What are those things? I've named them before, but I'm going to name them again right now so that you understand. This is the purpose of life, remember? I'm explaining to you the purpose of life simplified. You don't want to live your life for a man? That's completely fine. But that means that you don't want abundance in happiness, nor abundance in love, nor abundance in feeling special. You know what makes you feel special is when you have a high value man who has chosen you, not only chosen you in the beginning of his life, but he's repeatedly, daily choosing you for the rest of his life, and he remains high value and exponentially increases his high value. That's what makes you special, that you are part of that family that he created and that you've created together. The abundance of love happens because you guys created that. The abundance of happiness because you guys created that together. But he's not going to want to create that with you if he finds someone that logically is better, if that makes sense. Okay? So, simply put, I wish my camera would continue, but it doesn't. But so you'll have to just listen to my voice. Don't know what happens sometimes with my camera. A man of high value will choose amongst the women that are in front of him. And if you have prepared yourself by putting your priority being what he would prioritize when he selects a mate, that's what's crucial. So number one, he will prioritize loyalty above anything else. Why? Because he wants consistency in his life. And he wants the three women. There's just too much at risk if loyalty is not there. Right? How do you practice loyalty? Voluntary celibacy. Number one. Stop sleeping around. It is the worst thing that you can do if you want a man of high value. Okay? The worst thing you can do. I highly recommend that you live voluntary celibacy. Okay? Other than that, it's also loyalty to do things for him in mind. Of course, you're going to do things that you love, but in many ways, you're doing everything in your life to be happy yourself and for other people to be happy. Remember, we got to give happiness to others first so that we can ourselves be happy. If you focus on that, then you'll naturally also focus on his happiness. That's loyalty. If you don't care about what he thinks or what he feels about certain things, that's not really loyal, right? So that combined is now loyalty. Okay, what's next? That you want three in love. That's number two. Even though maybe that should be number one, you think, no, loyalty is number one. A man would rather have loyalty in monogamy than a disloyal three in love group. Does that make sense? Because then it's gonna be impossible to have consistency because a man of high value wants a family. Okay? The second is three in love. Do you want three in love? Do you obsess over three in love? Is that something that you are so passionate about that you will never ever be able to live without it? Wow. Fantastic. This is what a man of high value will want. Trust me on this. Ask around. It is top two list. Number one, loyalty. Number two, three in love. If you ask any masculine man this, he might not know these things because he hasn't asked himself the tough questions. But I work with relationships. Okay? That's my expertise. I work with connection. I work with love and happiness. That's my expertise. Number three is your femininity. Femininity. I cannot stress this enough. Yes, you're making yourself more masculine short term, okay, in order to qualify to make sure that you are the best you can possibly be once he goes through the selection process. The faster you improve yourself, the happier your life is going to be. Because then you will get him quicker. Does that make sense? You improve yourself quickly, you'll find your man of high value more quickly. He exists. He's there. He's waiting. Okay? He might be improving himself right now and being on a personal journey himself, but if you continuously improve yourself, you're both on your journey towards meeting each other. Make sense? So femininity, what's important when it comes to femininity? All the traditional things of femininity are crucial for a man of high value. Do you want to work at home? Okay? Be a homemaker. Crucial for a man of high value. Intensely important. Okay? Etc., etc., etc. All of those things that a man would want in his life so that he can work 80-hour work weeks. Maybe he wants to do 70 or 60, maybe. But could he set up his life with you three women and work 80 hours a week solving the problems of the world because he's a man of high value, remember? We're talking the Gandhis, we're talking the Martin Luther Kings, we're talking the presidents of governments, we're talking the big kahunas here, men of high value. Okay? Would you qualify for him? And are you feminine in learning the traits and characteristics and the skills and the talents that would help him be consistent on that journey and be fired up outside his brain about that journey because he's really doing it for you guys? Do you understand how this all works? And lastly, but very importantly, would be your beauty. You see, beauty is not number one, but beauty is crucial in the selection process. If you don't have beauty, that obviously is a genetic lottery that we all have or do not have, but everyone can improve on their beauty. And the number one thing to improve on your beauty, fortunately, is femininity. The more you improve your femininity, the more naturally beautiful you're going to be. Does that make sense? So everyone can improve themselves, and the more you improve them yourself, you might not be able to hit the Tom Cruise type of guy, right? But it doesn't matter because love has set it up in such a way. The universe has created a beautiful 3 in love system that allows a woman in 3 in love to be loving, to be worshiping her man because he's trustworthy, he's amazing, he'll never let you down, he provides for you luxuriously, etc., 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 etc. He deserves these 3 women because there's no one like him. Even if he's not, of the handsomeness of Tom Cruise, you'll be worshiping him more than Tom Cruise because he's your Tom Cruise, if that makes sense. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you guys. This is the purpose of life simplified for women. Why? Because I want you to be happy. I want you to have true love, and I want that love to be exponential in your life. I want you to have connection, not only today, not only next week, next month, next year. I want you to have happiness and love exponentially over the long term, forever. And this is how you're going to feel special. This is the Women of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.